Good morning. Welcome to Flat Earth Early Bird number 1583. I'm your host Arwin, and before I start the show, please don't forget to share it on any platform you deem fit, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell notification so you know when I'm going live, which is normally 1 p.m. Amsterdam time in weekdays and 2 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekend. And please also do support me through the PayPal and the Patreon. That will be much appreciated, and I can always use the support, so please keep it coming. Right, so yeah, the weather today is really nice. It's like a lot of the wind is gone. It's not completely gone, but it's like pretty blue skied. It's a bit hazy, but really nice and warm, especially behind the window here. Tree blossoming fully. That's cool. Right, but yeah, there is haze. It does look a bit suspect, the patterns, so it might have been persistent trails being left behind. At one point, it seemed to be a little bit more clear skied earlier. But it's still just really nice. Right. Hello, Tiger Bear, first in chat. Good to see you. It is Thursday, the 27th of April, 2023. Let's check the temperature. It should probably be around 14 degrees or something. 13 degrees. Alright. Looks like it's going to be up on the rise during the weekend. Monday 18 according to this. We'll see. Right, anyway, it's great weather right now and I feel good. I actually had my salad before the show this time. It was kind of funny yesterday because, well, I didn't do that. I had an Illuminati croissant, but it was like temperature on the oven was set wrong, so it was kind of like a little bit burnt, which was very annoying to me. I had to scrape all that off, and it's just annoying. Right, but yeah, then pretty much the whole FED show kind of slipped past me. I was just not in a very... I just couldn't really wake up that much. It's weird. Even though I felt rested, I just couldn't really wake up. But then, at some point in the after show, I literally chowed down a bowl of this stuff. And, like, immediately awoken. It's like really actively, I could put everything together all of a sudden very easily. It's like I just woke up from eating that. So I thought, let's do that before I start my own show. Well, to be fair, I've done that before, but then, well, I didn't do it yesterday and it was kind of toasty. Now I feel much better. Hello, Richard G. Good to see you. Alright, do still have jaw issues. It's very annoying. It's kind of like last year, but hopefully it's not gonna get that bad. Because it just feels like there's pressure on my skull. It's really unsettling. It's not like a sinus infection, but sort of like it. It's just annoying. Hello, Slow-Mo Moonbuggy. Moxie. Hey, thanks, Moxie, for the PayPal. I really appreciate that. Alright, I guess that you deserve this wrench, but I will keep tabs on you, though. Right, but I do very much appreciate that gesture. Thank you very much. Right, so let's see. Yeah, Owen Benjamin at Shivan. Now I discovered it like a bit late because he didn't start as his usual early hour, but later, and therefore I just didn't get any DLive pop-up, which is kind of handy because unauthorized.tv doesn't give you like screen corner pop-ups, but DLive does. So it was kind of handy for him to dual stream there again, because then I get the notification in my face. It's really handy to know where, oh, now is the time to go to unauthorized. Right. But yeah, that didn't go off for some reason, or I missed it, something. So I'm watching it back, or I was watching it back before the show. What? Wasn't you? What the hell? Okay. That's weird. No, wait. Yeah, no, it's Skeptic. I recognize his email. Why did he say Moxie? That's weird. I'm gonna have to ask about that. Right, anyway, you'll still get a wrench, but I mean, yeah, as I said, because you've been around and I think you've been decently behaved. But I mean, yeah, you, as everybody's well aware, you can just lose it just like that as well. Especially if you go ask, oh, ban me, Arwen. Or if you go all flippin' or something. But, yeah, it's okay. But I'm gonna have to ask Skeptic why he said that. That's kind of weird. Anyway, thanks for your honesty, at least. I appreciate that. Right, so that... I'm still kind of in the middle. I'm 1 hour in. Because I bumped into the stream, like, very late. Only, like, caught the last half hour of it live. Oh, yeah. I watched the Da Vinci Code. It's really odd watching it back this time. In reflection to, like, way back when I saw it. Because way back when I saw it, I got a lot of, like, agitated reflections from Christians somehow. I just heard about it. It was like going around the movie, and a lot of Christians were like really criticizing about it. And that made me... I kind of adapted to that in my view of watching it while I was watching it, so I kind of distrusted it. But now watching back, holy shit, man. Some of that background lore, I mean, yeah. That kind of puts some puzzle pieces together in ways. It's like, first, the guy that wrote that must have stumbled upon a whole bunch of knowledge, well, that like me and Anamikan especially is really digging into. And I just noticed that holy shit, man. I totally downplayed that because of how people responded to it back in the day before I even started watching it. But now watching it, Damn. Right. Yeah, and then I mean the way the story unrolls becomes kind of stupid, I think. But like especially the first half when it's like really investigating and like hearing history according to this guy, that is like really uncanny. Haven't watched it, read the book. Well, the book apparently is much more detailed. Moxie. I never read the book. I barely read any types of books, especially like allegedly fictional novels. But the funny thing is, like, the whole thing even centers around France. And that is pretty fascinating. Like, it ends up in France. Well, from the developments and the research that I've been confronted with recently and through Adam Meakin's sources, is that, yeah, that's probably where, like, a lot of it took place. Now, according to this movie, or the book, the story, it's like, now Jesus wasn't there, it's Mary Magdalene went there, and his offspring, basically. That's how they present it. And, well, yeah, I don't have enough oversight to really argue with that. So it was just really interesting watching that. And not for the, Leonardo da Vinci mechanics and stuff and old vaults. I mean, that is kind of cool about it. But really the story, like, which I had kind of ignored before, the previous time I watched it. And so it's really fascinating just watching it again and basically glancing at that part with fresh new eyes, metaphysically. Right, anyway. So yeah, that was interesting. Right. Hey, Dr. Utker, good to see you. Right, so yeah, I could take the conversation all kinds of directions. I could go summarize some flat earth situations. Like, I started that yesterday at the end of the show. I could just do that. I mean, I very rarely end up really summarizing the fundamental arguments for flat earth on my show, because, I mean, over at Nathan Oakley's, they talk about it all the time. But I could do it. I'll leave it up to you guys. Maybe there's some other development you want me to talk about. Right, anyway. Oh. Okay, Richard G. Wow, that's out of nowhere. My opinion about psychedelics. It's potentially dangerous. DMT. Yeah, I mean, like, all psychedelics makes you, like, this is what my healer says, and I absolutely agree with him. And you get to hear through a whole bunch of other spiritual workers typically, and that is that heavy psychedelics like that, they make you vulnerable. They make you vulnerable to entity influences. More easily possessed. I mean, I physically am undergoing that because of what I experienced a long time ago. Like, and now it's not as bad as it used to be, but it's a long road to like really get it all under control. So LSD, well, yeah. Smoking powdered Ouija board. Arguably, but not exactly. The point is that if your spirit is all good, and then like, yeah, there's all kinds of weird things concerning psychedelics. I think that is even like the thing where if you share like a batch in a moment, you like stay psionically connected through your dreams, for example. Okay, yeah, that's freaky. But I mean, is that what you want? My overall opinion is that psychedelics are not to be considered as party drugs, except for like soft LSD, maybe just a bit of bright colors, mood enhancement. You just have to be really careful with it, because it can like really be dangerous on your spirit and your entire system because of the vulnerabilities, right? And if you then get like, if you're under a heavy and you're like totally zen, and it's like you see colors everywhere, dude, if somebody just comes in and just starts to like get really negative or super aggressive or whatever, that could like totally fuck you up. And not just be like, oh man, you're on my nerves, but like really like send you into the abyss all of a sudden. That sort of shit. It all depends per type of those substances, but like I generally recommend against it, and I'm certainly not planning on taking that unless it's like really controlled circumstances where I am basically surrounded by worthy enough priests. But I mean, the worthy enough priests that I know are all like, no, don't do that. So it's like, doesn't seem like it's gonna happen again. And the times that it did happen, it happened through very risky circles that I literally didn't really know about at the time. So I didn't understand that. And that made me compromised in a way, because I was getting involved in things that I literally didn't see for what they were. And you could almost compare it to like the guy, the assassin guy in Da Vinci Code. It sounds freaky, but in ways that is kind of what I was like. Now, I wasn't an assassin like that, thank God. But I did think I was deluded in some mystical way that there was a holy mission that I was involved in somehow. And then later realized that it was an illusion that I had fabricated myself, and that the other guys were basically playing into to keep me under control. And that was like excruciating realization. So yeah, drugs, heavy hallucinatory drugs, don't do it. Especially don't do it with people you can't trust. Right. But anyway, yeah, that's part of the reason why when I talk about the guy that I rarely bring up anymore, that basically gave me that. I identify him as the Jesuit guy. I mean, there's a reason for that. It's not just some arbitrary tag that I'm giving it. Okay, he identified as such to me. And that stuck to me. He identified as a whole bunch of things, but that one really stuck to me. And that seemed like safe to mention him with. Well, safe is a weird... It's complicated. The other things I just cannot reveal ever. That would be way too dangerous for me. Like, I don't want to take the risk. I don't even want to attempt to dig in that direction. I mean, I'm really glad that seemingly there's a clean break here between me and that guy. Even though it wasn't exactly clean. I mean, I got a lot of pain. Right? But yeah, just realize that. I call him the Jesuit guy and then see the Da Vinci movie, see... That's pretty much what they do, and I feel that I was kind of like enrolling to become like that guy, and I kind of figured it out and then managed to step out without getting myself killed. I really feel that. And I'm so glad that I got out relatively early. Right. So, yeah, watching the Da Vinci Code certainly made some... Because I watched it before... It's like... Just realize how I watched the Da Vinci Code at the time. I heard these things and it didn't say anything. It's like I didn't recognize it. I didn't see the connection directly. It was all too overwhelming. What the Jesuit guy explained to me. And couldn't handle it. Sort of forgot about it, but really became, in a way, yeah, passively obsessed with it. It's really, I can't explain. But then when I watched the Da Vinci Code at the time, it's like it didn't really mean anything to me. Or I was like really terrified to look into it. It's because I had faced something that was like way over my head in a way. But at the same time, I had this insane internal courage that refused to be snuffed, that I could actually somehow involve and retain a control. At the start, at least. But then I later realized like how freaking dark it all really is underneath all that. And then I realized like I got to get the fuck out of here. I gotta like get out of there physically and gotta get out of there mentally and just forget all about that, because it's so fucked up and so entangled. It's like, as an unsuspecting, unprepared outsider, like there's literally nothing you can do about the things, well, that I faced. And I faced basically utter powerlessness in that moment of realization. It was very fucking painful, and I hated myself for not being able to stop it. It basically rekindled in a way what I had gotten under control during my teens, and which is like self-loathing. I had that for some reason, just because people didn't respond well to me, and I just hated myself because of that. As preteen and a teen, and then I kind of got it on, really got my pride, realized, got it under control, and then that shit happened, and I got straight back into like self-loathing because of that. But not like, I would always like be struggling internally to ensure that I wouldn't even subconsciously by accident get myself hurt somehow. I'm always, because that would have like, I don't know. It was mentally kind of torturous in a way. But I've managed to pretty much get through it unscathed without like causing overt damage on myself. And I'm really glad that that I got that like pristine. Right? It has made the difference between me now. Probably if I would have not been pristine at it, then now I would be registered as a mental patient that hurt himself. And I'm just so glad that that I'd never done that fanatically. Right? So yeah, I mean, there's a reason why I've pretty much completely stayed out of society for 15 years straight. And it was so weird that it's like I did that, I knew that, but I did that and had to forget about what had happened in order to try to unfold again, in order to bloom up and get somewhere. But then, if that happened too much and I forgot too much about what had happened, then I'd like forget that had ever happened. It's like a completely amnesia away, and then I'd start seeking it out again. And it's like, didn't even realize it. And I would, that way by accident, basically bump into darkness again. Other people. Other groups. I just couldn't help myself but roll right into the dark nest every fucking time I went. I would just recognize there's something going on there. And I get so fucking curious. And I think I'm some kind of stupid investigator. And I just get entangled with relatively dangerous situations. And then still manage to get out of it unscathed, but I mean, it's not been good on my soul. A stupid curiosity, you know, has made me face a lot of grief that at first I couldn't handle, so I literally mechanically escaped from it through like an amnesia response. But then I'd seek it out by intuition. It's like I couldn't forget anything because it would happen over again, right? And hey, the Flat Earth Revolution 2015 was really the point where all of that, it's like, and now I'm not forgetting it anymore, including all that dark shit. I wouldn't get to the point where it would completely amnesia out of existence anymore. I wouldn't allow that to happen. Because every time that happened in the past, I would start to seek out shady people because of freaking curiosity. It makes no sense, but I do that. Right? Shady people, not because, oh, I want drugs or I want power or whatever, but because I was just curious about what's going on inside of them. How they can be like that. Like how much are they aware of what they're doing? It's like a field psychiatrist, completely unregistered. That's in a way, yeah, an investigator, field psychiatrist, just to understand the darkness. But it's a crazy mission, and I had nothing to fall back on as I was doing it. It was like a blind thing, just getting into things. But trying to avoid cataclysm though. Because sometimes I did. I mean, I've seen people like gang warfare situations, and it was like very glad that I was overall able to keep myself out of that. Like, to not be a target or get involved directly in that sense. But I mean, it did just like really shock me. made me puzzled, like, how can they allow themselves to do that? Don't you feel the pain? Don't you realize that at some point you're going to feel the pain of this? I wouldn't like tell them, or sometimes I would really carefully, like afterwards, confront them, like, how are you about this? Like a psychiatrist. So in a way, it's like, yeah, I did some weird shit, man. Well, not like, ooh, extraordinary, but like, I did things that normal people don't do that. Only crazy people do that. But I did it. And I did learn gigantic amounts of, like, I've got empirical spiritual knowledge in that sense. I was very serious about, I want to understand, like, it. Like, if I want to understand the human mind and be capable of healing somebody, then I have to be real about what is real and happens with people, so that I'm able to recognize it better and not just have to model it out and hope it kind of works out. I'd have to genuinely be able to understand people that go through messed up moments and what that is like. So yeah, I unleashed my empathy very closely on people that were doing dark things, and that basically causes the darkness also to resonate. Limited, but still. Right. I remembered an amnesia event. What are you talking about? Anyway, yeah, I'm talking about background knowledge and, like, the problem is that it's not a problem, it's actually an advantage, is that I don't know those people anymore. I don't know who they were. A lot of the times I just go with people, I didn't even know their names. I wouldn't recognize them if I saw them today. But I also leaned on this weird ability, this knowledge about humans, that those that dwell in darkness are actually quite desperate to be seen, to have a moment where they can be honest, but in a way that they know it's not gonna, like, unveil all their terrible secrets. And that way I got a lot of opportunities like that to hear people's stories, basically on how did you get to this point. And I would manage to, well, gain the trust of people in order for them to tell me that. And I would absolutely not reveal. But now I got all these structures, memories of, like, structures of how they were and what they roughly were doing. But I don't know who they are. I just know the models. I got memories of the models of how that works, how the descent works, how the consciousness responds in relation to descent like that, and how it can be concealed for you and then with some people, when they really know it, that they're doing wrong and they're still doing it anyway, something that I cannot empathically copy, but I did get to feel about it. And it's really, people that do that, it's like they become like a dark spirit that's not them, just gets in their body and starts to, like you can't get through. They are like possessed. Like, I could feel that. And I'm not talking like, oh, I talked to somebody over the internet. No, I'm talking like face-to-face situations. I did everything face-to-face. It's like you go out, you go to special events, you bump into people, you hear people talk, especially you hear people talk. I mean, I spied in on a whole bunch of conversations. But not to report them, but just because I just wanted to know what was going on. What's going on in people. Anyway. Right, so I hope that's a bit of an interesting story. It's spooky. But yeah, the Da Vinci Code certainly made me remember a whole bunch of stuff. Right? Right. So yeah, Slow-Mo Mubagi, what amnesia event exactly are you talking about? Can you be more specific? Okay, amnesia event concerns the Skinwalker Ranch, is it? No, wait. There's some Moxie saying that. Sorry. Guys, can I have some feedback? You're saying things. I'm trying to interact with you. Okay. Right. Have you ever been restored to the amnesia event? Because I effectively have now. As a child. Right. Well, I know that there's been freaky stuff, although never, thank God, like actual rape or anything. But there's been freaky stuff in my youth that had happened. But I also, like, very early already, I recognized that as a little kid, I was really impressionable. So if somebody got, like, really angry with me, that devastated me. Like, devastated. I'd be, like, panic. That bad. So it's, like, very traumatizing sometimes. Like, if an adult would act like that to me. Like, fellow kids, I didn't really give a shit. But, I mean, it never really caused the amnesia. The amnesia events that I had, it's just that, well, I had that one weird thing that I don't really want to get into, but where I, like, almost got raped, allegedly. And I just kind of, like, got over it because I managed to find my strength in that moment. And then it's like, yeah, I was just like, okay, this is all way too much. I'm just forgive and move on, and let's try to grow something new out of this. Because I was strong. But it wasn't an amnesia effect like that. It's just, I'd never really dig into it, and just that overall made me realize, like, yeah, the world is a much more dangerous place than I realized up until that point. And I didn't particularly like facing that knowledge. But that never really amnesia'd out of me like that. Because, I mean, yeah, my mother was there. Was in our house. Like, my mother was not, like, looking or anything, but she knew about what was happening. Anyway, amnesia really happened in relation to flat Earth having the realization of like that there's real knowledge out there that's being hidden. And then eventually, like, what made me really have amnesia about it is like once you let that in, and I really embraced it pretty much every time it happened, but then faced the world that refused to do the same. Like I couldn't then communicate about it. And that made me feel so incredibly isolated that it like turned me paranoid and miserable, and then I just drop it. It's like I can't do anything with it. I have to forget about it, even though it is the truth. And that's like the real amnesia effect. It really, most of it concerned flat Earth. And later, like when I faced some really messed up, crazy secret stuff, the dungeons and shit, like that also was like so too much because I couldn't do anything about it. It was impenetrable. Like I couldn't stop it from happening, so I would just like eat myself up if I didn't forget about it. So I did forget about it, and it worked really well. But there was this weird passive aggression though parallel from that moment on. It was so odd. It's like I didn't know about it, but I felt about it. It's like only my subconscious would be dealing with it, not my aware conscious. Yeah, hard to explain. I mean, having your memory messed with? What do you mean? How did that happen, Slow-Mo Moonbug? Who messed with your memory? A memory about what? How? Are you guys interested in what I talk about? Are you following? I mean, I'm keeping it a little vague. That might be really off-putting. You might lose oversight. If that is the case, that would be great if you told me. So everybody just shuts up. It's just like, yeah, I don't know. Don't know if what I'm doing is effective. If you're even getting it. If you're able to follow me jumping around in time in my past. I don't know how well you guys can follow that. I know I can follow it really well when I watch back, but I mean, it's my life. Memory. Wow, that is really weird. But how did they do that then? Like magnetically or something? Or did they give you some drug? That is really weird. Slow-Mo Moonbuggy. Or did somebody just hypnotize you? I mean, if you're a very little kid, you can also be hypnotized into forgetting about something. Is that what happened? What happened, Somo? Oh, okay. So there was something traumatic about it? I mean, why else would you have a mind wipe like that? You remember, not remember? No, that's not weird at all. But that means it's really locked off then. Then you still haven't remembered. Because if you don't, then that you will remember not remembering. You just don't remember what. Yeah, okay, that's fine, guys. Dr. Utker and Tiger Bear. Well, have you ever tried to have that memory unlocked through hypnosis? Slow-mo? Like, what do you call it? Regression therapy or something? You might be able to get it back. If you wish to. Okay, yup. As in you have, or you're gonna do that? I'm mostly Irish. Okay. Irish don't do well with hypnosis? Okay, I didn't know that. But I mean, it's up to you. I mean, hypnosis can basically just be a controlled, it's like conjuncted dream, right? You just have to allow that to happen. Right, anyhow. Why sometimes we don't remember when we dream and the others... Yeah, this has to do with brain function, Zane Solo. I mean, that's pretty It's just this processes that happen. And yeah, I mean, sometimes it stays clearly integrated within the memory and isn't wiped. And the other times it's like as soon as you wake up, it immediately is wiped. I mean, yeah, it's part of the brain. And I don't know why it activates, why it doesn't. It could be purely spiritual. But it might seem really random to you. Like with me, I'm weird internally because I will have really intensive dreams, but then I will not literally remember them, but I'll remember like the synopsis of it. Because it's like as I'm going through the dream, I can actually actively catalog what's happening to a certain degree. And then I won't literally remember the experience as if I was there, but I'll have the catalog of it. I could still roughly summarize what I was going through and like feeling events or visual alteration of things. Yeah, but that's the trick, basically, that I can do. Because I have a lot of dynamic capability during dreams. I am like really in control in my dreams, in many ways. You dream about Earth being round. Aw, poor boy. Yep. Well, that's the only place it is round, so... I mean, yeah. Whatever isn't real, you can always dream like it's real. And especially... You know why those types of dreams happen? Why you might dream the ball Earth? It's actually a message from God. It's trying to show you it's not real. Dreams in which you see things that are real, that are revealing, are often in a different type of nature. You don't just float in the air at a vast distance and see a ball. Like, that is how nobody dreams about sitting in a spaceship. Unless they just watch like a movie like that. But in general, like especially when you're young, I got dreams about just basically me without some suit or whatever, flying in outer space, seeing planets and all that. But there's something really weird about it, because I mean, yeah, that's never going to be real, because I'm literally floating there, like no suit, nothing. I'm just breathing there. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. That's how I would always experience space. Like, outer space is not a vacuum. That's how I wouldn't experience it like that in my dreams. I'd experience it as like, no, it's just this vast, endless black with places there, balls. But you could just fly around and breathe just fine. And like the stars in it were like not even like at vast distances. They would just kind of like be around, and you could literally bump into one. It's like this little glittery ball or something. Like, that's how I dreamt about that stuff. It was really mystical, but absolutely not realistic. Right? When I dream about things that are real, then it's like a snippet out of something that's really happened. So you get to see it through eyes of a real person, sometimes myself, sometimes others, and it would be just a scenario that's taking place that's like just the way it looks, the way the eyes work through which I watch make it real. They show this is a real thing. This is not just something that I'm putting together through my creativity in my mind. Hitting power lines in your voting game. Never had that issue. But then again, we're not like surrounded by power lines. Flat Earth, you think it's real? Yes, it is real. It is. Earth is flat. Horizon's not geometric. Celestial navigation requires a flat plane. In order to coordinate all the GP positions of the celestials, which are used for navigation. Yeah, there's no Coriolis deviation that naturally happens because the Earth is not moving, it's stationary, right? There's no gas pressure without a container happening. Gas is not going to stick to a ball that thick and then gradiate out all the way to the insane sized claim to be universe. Yeah, second law of thermodynamics violation. It doesn't work. Ball Earth can't be. Everything about it is like diametrically impossible. It is absolutely the reverse of reality every step of the way. The ball Earth is fake. The Earth is flat. I am a scientist? I know the scientific method. Yeah, I know what scientists aren't. I know what people that call themselves scientists aren't. They are not scientists. Most of them don't apply the scientific method. They mostly talk shit and then claim it's science. Nope. Yeah. Falling off a cliff, high places. Yeah, Zane, no, but I had perfect control. Like, I never, like, smacked to death falling during a dream. I'd always basically go Matrix on it before the Matrix even existed. As a very young kid, I would fall and then I'd literally slow down my descent until I would literally just float down onto the ground like a feather. Or I chose like, oh, okay, well, now that I have air control, I'm literally not even gonna touch the ground and I'm just gonna hover over it or fly off or whatever. Get help. Okay. Oh, here's my help for you. Bye. Hey, if you don't like historically provable facts, which you're obviously not liking because you're a ball believer and they don't like historically provable facts, repeatable, right, things, just like presuppositions and little math tricks. It's what you love. Yeah, that's not reality though, that's just conception. And that is what your ball Earth is comprised of. A lot of conception that isn't physically real. And a lot of it is literally just made up mechanics that don't apply to reality. Yeah? Earth is flat. Okay. Yeah. You're gonna have to wait. Okay, slow mo moon buggy. No, I really never had those power line issues. That just never happened with me. Thank God, because that would have been very unpleasant. What are you doing, Kitty? Yeah. Right, hope you guys are enjoying the show. So very dreamy currently, talking about dreams. Man, come on. No. Kitty, stop it. Yeah, I think I got a basic title. The Da Vinci Code with new eyes. Okay, Kitty, I get it already. Be right back. And I'm back. Sorry about that. What? horrific. Okay. Well, I don't really get horrific nightmares anymore. I sometimes get like unpleasant dreams, but never horrific nightmares. Most of those I got like much younger, pre-teens and early teens. And well, the visions, the great big vision thing. I mean, in ways that was horrific. Except I sorta got it under control, but not really. So maybe that vision actually like bound the nightmare mechanism into that. I'm not sure if that is what happened, if that is even how it works. But I don't really have like really terrible nightmares. It's also because, well, I personally think that terrible nightmares are directly related to your moral action. Right? If you do something and you kind of like try to justify it and you genuinely believe that, or at least on the surface, then like through your dream you will, it's like God comes by to tell you how it really is. Indirectly. Stop watching horror movies. Oh, that's smart. Right, but I don't know, horror movies didn't give me nightmares. They just made me feel very unpleasant. That's true, you were a naughty person in your youth. Yeah, probably. I mean, most are, but it's not like naughty because you're consciously naughty, it's just because you're believing wrong things. You've oversimplified reality and morality. And then you go into a misleading path, and then God comes back through your dreams to tell you, no, you're wrong. To snap you out of it. You could see it like that, I know. If you don't, if God literally does that, if the angels do that, or if it's just a psychological mechanism, can't really tell. But for me, it would always feel like that's God coming by to tell you how it is. Basically, judging you in that moment. After you refuse to recognize things, right? As bad. Trying to be a better person. Yeah, good on you. Well, being a better person certainly is going to help in getting rid of nightmares, or at least making them less extreme, less draining on you, less disruptive. I mean, some people just, for some reason, like, they just always have nightmares. They can't stop it. And then at some point they might just it just stops. I mean, it's really kind of unpredictable. Because it is like dealing with the subconscious, like It's God telling you things that you don't know. Like, correcting you. So you don't... As an outsider, you can speculate what's happening, like kind of what I've done right now. But the whole thing springs forth from you not getting it. That's what creates nightmares, pretty much. When you're just wrong about something and you don't realize that. Or you've ignored the impulses that told you differently. You've ignored God. You've ignored the truth when you saw it. That'll give you nightmares. What are you talking about, Slow-Mo Moonbuggy? Are Globers banned here? Moxie's a Glober. So no, Globers aren't banned here, but Gamma whiners that have no arguments yet pretend like they're winning and all that, yeah, they do get kicked. Because you're a waste of my chat space. So, depends on which one you are. But have I always had a cat? That's not my cat, though. It's just the neighborhood cat. But yeah, that cat's been around for years here. What the fuck are you talking about? What a wanker. Get the fuck out of here. What the fuck is he talking? Did I ban Moxie yesterday? What the fuck is he talking about? It's just these gammas. They don't even make any logical sense anymore. Are there not two different Moxies? I don't know. I don't think so. A logical conclusion. Glad you found your way to my channel. Ah, you saw Logan's run? Yeah, it is weird, isn't it? It's really interesting though, but it's also like really very 70s. But what I really liked about it is that the way the actors and everything were, like, that they'd never seen the sun before. Then when it came out, it's like, what is that? That was really, that's proper science fiction, right? That's proper science fiction acting there. I really appreciated that. Like, what is that thing? It seems to be warm. I mean, that was great. He also made a series. Yeah, I've seen it. I haven't watched it though. Dome City. Yeah, I know. Powerful movie as a child. Yeah, I guess. It was before my time though. Like this was the first time I've ever seen that movie. Although one time I might have watched a part of it, as in like my parents were watching it or something, but it just did. I wasn't interested. But those few days ago was the first time that I've just fully watched it consciously. I've never done that before that time. Heard a lot of references though. Yeah, the weird robot thing. Oh, antediluvian catharsis. Cheesy and scary. There's plenty of cheesy movies in that era. What? What you get is 6 means there's 18 years. Okay, what? What are you talking about, Saint Solo? Like what? Ten is 13. Okay, so they have everything divided by 3. Okay, fine. Older sci-fi, ridiculously inefficient. Well, yeah, they would use just props a lot. I mean, the props for this movie, Logan's Run, I mean, that's pretty incredible. They had like a really elaborate model for that city. And it was really visible, though, that it was a model, but still, like, pretty impressive. I mean, that must have cost a big effort. Probably some budget to create that thing. Silent running? Right, but I mean, Slow Mo Moon Buggy, the whole time in media and sci-fi, dude, it was all about freaking cults. Have you even seen like Star Trek, the original? Like, there's freaking cults in every fucking science fiction thing. They're always doing that. Like it was popular. Crazy stuff. Hey LSG, good to see you. Oh wow. I've never seen that before. I think I'll check that out. Thanks for the tip. Silent running. Huh. Space stuff. Hey, Guns of Neverone. Right, yeah. I remember you told me that. Yeah, so he could have potentially be working on this movie? Silent running? Let's see if I can download that. '72, man, that's really old. Right, it is still out there. There's a remastered version. So yeah, I'll check that out. Get back to you about it. Can you or someone post the PayPal link? It's in the description box. It's right there. I think LVA Paul posted it earlier as well. Right. Ah. You beat me to it. Seeking Star Water, thanks. Oh, what the hell? Right. miniatures on independent. Oh, right. So it's not that long ago. He did it like in the 90s. Okay, cool. Some really good miniatures, I have to say. How am I? Yeah, I'm okay. I got some jaw issue thing going again. Just like last year. Hope it doesn't get that bad. Eating greens seems to help the overall condition. But yeah, I'm just feel just a little bogged down, and I can't really excite my way out of it too much. I just kind of need to take it easy for a while, I think, until this stuff just stops again. Or gets to a peak at least. Hopefully it's already been there. It's just like in the last few weeks is like just one problem after another, and it's like, oh, I got an issue on this. It's really heavy. Well, not super heavy, but heavy enough to really take notice of it. And then it's like, oh, now something else. And then that thing gets annoying. And then after that stops, and then another thing. So I've gone like throughout my body all over the place. Like, where did it start again? Because it started mostly like somewhere in my belly. And then like got to my back. What was it again? Oh yeah, then to my lungs. And then to my hips, weirdly enough. But it wasn't too bad, it was just kind of stiffish. And that seems to be kind of gone, but now it's, yeah, to my jaw. It's like it's been all over the place. Whatever it is. These things that apparently need resolving. Right, but it's not even half as bad as it was last year. It got really bad and painful. Enough for me to actually panic and go to a doctor with it, which was really stupid. Should have just taken care of it myself. That would have saved me a whole bunch of money. Money that I intend to save this year. Right, so yeah, I'm going through physical issues, but on average, I'm okay. And it's really nice weather, so huh. Okay, guns will never run. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. What? Jesus, really that long? Holy shit. That's 45 years. Holy shit, man. That is like your entire lifetime. I mean, the guy must be like a master at it at this point. Right, 3 years ago. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, no, Zane Solo. I mean, Guns just told you he died 3 years ago, so he's not gonna be making any Flat Earth movies, unfortunately. Would have been very interesting if he'd gotten into that. Right, anyhow, hope you guys are enjoying the show. I had some interesting things to share, but I am just not very fluid right now because of my condition. Love to get to that back. Yeah, but I mean, I really hope that this is not going to be like an everyday thing now for like a week, because that would really suck. I mean, I might like need to take a few days off or something and like really let it rest. No, there is much more. What are you talking about, George Sanford? The Earth is flat. It's not concave, it's flat. Space itself might not be linear, it might all be really surreal, but one thing is certain, it's flat. Yeah? I mean, the whole thing might be a freaking hologram, but that hologram is flat. The Earth is flat. It's flat. No matter how you look at things, it's flat. And that's a fact. Yeah? Might all be really weird and surreal or whatever, but it is flat. And anybody that says, like, concave is immediately gone. I mean, you're wrong. You're just wrong. There's no justifying it. None. There is no justification. There's no curve. It's flat. No curve. Concave, spherical, flat. It's all flat. And if you're a cultist like that, that's your freaking problem, George Sanford. I don't care why you believe it. It's wrong. Yeah? You get it? It's just wrong. Fact. Well, they're fucking retards and I don't give a shit. It's flat. They want to migrate away from it. Oh, yeah, it's fucking flat though. I don't care, yeah? I don't care if all flat earthers all abandon ship. They don't call it flat earther anymore, whatever, and they're gonna claim some other stupid thing. I don't give a fuck. I'll be the last fucking flat earther on the world because the earth is flat, factually. I don't care what other people think. Because of it? Yeah, that's just fucking retarded, Zeptepi. Come on. It's flat. Geometric orientation of the Earth's surface is flat all the way. Not a little curved. It's flat. You get in trouble for talking? Why? Do you get in trouble for just saying that I had a cousin who worked on models? Why? Why would that get you in trouble? You're not spilling any details, are you? Just so what, NASA? NASA admits that they use models for their footage. It's admitted, Guns and Neverone. Why would you talking about your deceased cousin making models working for NASA be a problem? They explain they do. Yeah? They explain it. I'm not telling you you need to talk about it. I'm just saying you just mentioning he worked for NASA is not going to be a problem. They say that they use props and models, not real footage, for a lot of these things that get on television. They say it. The actual NASA says that now. Right? When inquired. And somebody's like, oh, why is that? And then they'll say, yeah, that's because that was actually a stage show for entertainment purposes, basically. Well, the real thing is really out there, yes. Right? That's what they say. So it shouldn't be a problem. People are known to work for NASA for props. That's just a fact. I mean, that doesn't necessarily disprove that they go out to space. It just proves that they like to make props for demonstrations. That's all. Right? As long as you're not like sharing intricate details about specific projects, why should you ever get in trouble for that? They're just referencing something that they publicly admit. Now, I mean, maybe not 20 years ago, but now they are. They're just publicly admitting that, yeah, they use props. It's not the real thing. A lot of things that get shown on television, they just admit it. So, if they just admit it, why should it be a problem for you to mention you had a brother that did that? That makes no sense. Wow, that was fast. Downloading that movie. It's really fast. All right. Cool. Well, I guess I got a movie to watch later. I'm expecting a whole disco scene nonsense to appear in my face there. But yeah, looking forward to that. Right, Zane, so yeah. Well, they admit that. It's just like they admit that they make things to show you, but it doesn't technically disprove that there's something out there they're really doing stuff with, right? That's basically their policy. It's like, yeah, we show you a front for entertainment purposes. What is really there, though, there's real things there, right? That's their sort of their thing now. Which is technically a wise position to take. There's a whole bunch of fuckery going on that's very easily identified now. What? I don't know who Paul Curran is. No idea what you're talking about. They're using their own ethics, people. Well, they should have probably stuck to the old crowd, because I don't know, man. A lot of effects these days, I'm not super impressed. Oh, okay, slow mo buggy. Thanks for telling me. I don't care. I mean, any person who, for whatever reason, says I'm an ex-flat earther, I immediately don't care anymore. They're a sellout. There's no reason to change your position in that. Every person that has ever that has ever done that is provably a complete and utter sellout, if not shill, to that level. Okay, every single individual that's ever done that on record. I beg for you to show me an individual that has done that isn't a complete scam artist. Yeah, 24/7 FE Discord. I haven't checked in there in like years now. I don't know what the hell they're doing. Wait, what? Does that took Disney on board? What do you mean? Disney on board? For the special effects? You mean? 1958? They used their special effects crew, Disney special effects crew. That makes sense. Right. CGI guys from the Mandalorian. Okay, Zane Solo, if you say so. Right, but I mean, there's this whole weird thing, right? Develop like a very an odd development curve, and that is there's all kinds of really advanced CGI, but for the space stuff, they just don't use it. They don't use that. They use cheap stuff, outdated. They always end up doing that. Okay, Moxie, that's not how you spell were. That's we are. Okay, I don't know, Richard G. I don't know why. I have no idea. But I mean, I don't get it, Richard G. Haven't you actually sent me a PayPal before? I thought that you had. Or maybe that's like your wife's account or something. I don't remember. That's really odd if you can't get PayPal to work. Nope. Okay. You don't have a wife yet? Okay. Fair enough. Right. Oh man, the time has flown. I'm gonna run out, guys. So thanks everyone for coming. Hope you liked this show. Taking it a bit easy, but I mean, at the start at least, I got very intense. Psychological for a bit. But I mean, I do, yeah, I have pressure on my head, and it's not helping my concentration. Like, it's even like getting in the way of my eyes being able to properly focus at this point. Right. It's not so bad that it's like real, that I literally just can't see straight anymore, but still, just, yeah. It's probably very equatable to just a basic sinus infection or something like that. Right, but I hope it'll go away. And I'll be able to just get back to more fluid and more focus. And yeah, get some good shows rolling out, because there have been really great shows, right? Like in the last month, a lot of them are really good. But okay, yeah, Richard G, yeah, good luck with that, and thanks for trying at least. Right. But yeah, I hope that condition won't get any worse, and otherwise I'm just gonna have to take it easy at some point. If it does actually get worse, I might take a few days off, right? Just to like sick it out, right? Just to get it over with and take it as easy as I can. Right. Anyhow, thanks everyone for coming. I hope you liked this show. If you did, then please don't forget to Rogan's it up. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you know when I'm going live, which is normally 1 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekdays and 2 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekend. And please also do support me through the PayPal and the Patreon. That would be much appreciated, and I can always use the support, so please keep it coming. Right. So, I'll be back tomorrow with Flat Earth Early Bird number 1584, which would be on a Friday, and I'm going to join the Flat Earth debates over at Nathan Oakley 9080 channel, which should start up any second now. Hope to see you there in chat, and until the next video, keep it flat.